Hi guys! I am back. So I said that I would call some angel numbers or something, and maybe whatever pops out of the cosmic journey, actually, this oracle deck that I have, because I wanted to give you like some daily guidance maybe, and also just a little bit of insight into the download I got a little earlier this week. So I'd like to start off with the angel numbers just because I feel like it gives everyone a better idea of what we're dealing with. I'm going to quickly shuffle them because I didn't do any of this before I started. This deck doesn't really shuffle that great. Oh no, it's not that it doesn't shuffle. It doesn't bridge it's not great. So sometimes I have to kind of mold it a little bit so that it'll bridge for me. I just like doing that. I like to shuffle cards in general. For anyone who doesn't really know me, or maybe you're new and you found this video somehow, shuffling the cards, of course, ensures that the cards are different from the last time you used them, obviously, in different places in the deck. It also helps to dispel any stagnant energy. But for me personally, the act of shuffling also is kind of one of the ways that I channel. I almost said shuffle. So, there we go, bridged nicely. That one, okay. So, let us see. Oh, literally so many just flew out. It's like, I think it was just me being klutzy, so I'm gonna put like half of these back in because I don't think that is exactly, I don't think that was right. Let me see. I'm gonna try one more time and see if anything else flies out besides the two that came out first. Oh, one more. 777 77 77. I've been seeing this number personally so many times, like in the past 3 weeks or something. What were the first two? 24 24 and 022 0. So this one is Perseverance. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I definitely needed to hear it. Even being an intuitive reader, I am not perfect. I'm going through some stuff, as you might have noticed, as my channel has been a little bit inconsistent this year. But the key words for this card are change of perspective, reflection, inner strength, wisdom, and enlightenment. So this is all like giving me hermit vibes. So the reflection, the wisdom, the inner strength, the enlightenment, there's a need for change of perspective on whatever has taken over you now, which I feel this card specifically really complements the last tarot reading that I just did on my channel about you having to kind of break this hyper focus that you have on something or someone in your life that's just tearing you down mentally and emotionally. And you have to kind of step inside yourself and look inside and reflect to find your inner wisdom and find your inner strength to kind of grow and heal so that you can find the person you're supposed to find in your life. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road you're on. So this also is, I guess this is like the perfect card to pop out, honestly. So that line, to keep going down the road you're going, complements that Inquisitor card yesterday. I believe it was the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is like the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, something new in your life. Very cyclical behavior of this constant like growing and learning. Like you can always learn something new, you can always grow. There's nothing wrong with growing or learning new things. You can always be better or whatever. But that Inquisitor because it was like a spooky kind of tarot deck, the Inquisitor. It depicted a man tied to the Wheel of Fortune like an ancient device, and he was being like strung up on it, and it did not look fun, basically. So what I was saying was, it's not going to feel nice in the beginning. It always gets a little bit worse before it gets better, but with your mindset, and as you create the world around you with your thoughts and the way that you feel and the way that you talk to yourself, you want to make sure that you're very positive and that you keep it in mind that you are aware that it's not going to be easy right from the very beginning, and that you need to stay focused on yourself and positive. I always do this thing where even if I don't mean it, even if I don't feel like it, I still say, like if I'm feeling like really down or something, or depressed, or whatever negative feeling, insert negative feeling here, whatever I'm feeling that way that's negative, I verbally out loud say the opposite, because your brain can't tell the difference between like tone or sarcasm or whatever. So if I'm feeling like really like trash, honestly, but I don't want to feel that way going forward because I know how strong my thoughts are, I could feel terrible, and I'll look at myself in the mirror in the morning, even though I don't feel this way, and look at myself, and I can even say it super sarcastically, and be like, and look at myself and be like, you are so beautiful. Like, you just look at you, you are so beautiful. And it can be so sarcastic, but my brain is like, yes, I'm so beautiful. Like, yes, like that's kind of what you're gonna just need to do if you hit like a bump where things are just not great, you know what I mean, and you're feeling like it's not great. Just keep going, you know, keep down the road that you're on, reach for the wisdom within. Everything you need in your life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, that you want to find out, that you want to learn, is already inside of you. You have all the answers already inside of you. We are beautiful beings of great knowledge that's buried deep inside of us, deep in our psyche, deep in our soul. So with this inner wisdom to look inside yourself, to do this self-reflection, this growing, this healing, is what a lot of people need to do to ascend to the next spiritual level, so they can actually unlock things that are already inside of them. Everything you need is already inside of you. That's what I've always said. That's what I was always told. And even now as an adult, sometimes I will think out loud, or like what I'm thinking in my head, like questions, or if I'm even at work or something, I'll be thinking of something, like a solution I'm trying to find, even for like a work problem, and I will literally talk about it out loud with myself and work through the problem and find the solution in a couple of minutes, because instead of going to somebody, I would say 9 times out of 10, I find the solution for what I'm looking for simply by musing out loud and talking with myself, like whether inside, talking to myself outwardly, or listening to my higher self, or listening to the divine, and just being patient and listening and talking things out, kind of like when people talk themselves out of a bad situation or whatever, or talk yourself off the ledge, is what some people say. It's the same kind of concept, except it's not in a negative way. It's like talking yourself through the whole situation. And when you have a thought that pops up that might be a solution, you don't ignore it and ask somebody for their opinion. You just go with it. And that's kind of how you end up finding these solutions and these answers yourself, without having to be influenced by someone else's second opinion. Because, like, why would you need the second opinion if you listen to your intuition first? We were given intuition for a reason, you know what I mean? Because we're able to discern things. We are smart enough in our brains and in our souls to discern what's not good for us. We just need to pay attention and stop ignoring it because of what society or what other people have told us. And then you'll just know what the right step is the last little tidbit on this card, which is basically what I was saying, when you talk yourself to your own solution. So that is really exciting. I think this is a perfect companion card for the reading that I just did on my channel yesterday, I believe. I think it went up yesterday. So I'm going to link that video to this one in a card or something, or at the end of or maybe even down below. Maybe I'll do all of it. But if you haven't seen that one, please go check it out. It's about all the healing and advice that I could give you from the divine and from myself and my intuition to help you find your perfect person after you do the healing that you need to match up with that perfect person in a healthy way, not in a way that people tell you you should, not in some fake soulmate, comic, whatever, like truly who you're supposed to find because you found them, because you're healed. So that is pretty much all I have for you guys right now. I'm going to touch on these two in another video just because this one, this 7777 card was so perfect as a companion for that video that I want to touch on these separately. And then I'll also grab some more tarot for these, and I'm also going to do the oracle cards, and then for spooky season I'm going to use my Nightmare for Christmas tarot for those. So stay tuned for those. Thank you so much for coming. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Maybe somebody needs to hear this, and maybe it's not even for you. Maybe it's a friend that needs to hear this, or a family member who needs to hear this. But either way, I would really appreciate it if you would just share it to them anyway. Follow your intuition if it tells you to do that. And thank you so much. I will see you guys later. Bye.